Army Staff Sergeant Laura Foster had applied to SEAL training 3 times, and 3 times she'd been rejected with the same form letter: female candidates do not meet the physical requirements for SEAL operations. The instructors at Naval Special Warfare Command had made it clear that no woman would ever wear the trident. But when a terrorist attack on the Fort Bragg Special Operations Training Facility required immediate sniper response, and every qualified marksman was deployed overseas, they called the one person they'd refused to train. "Foster, we need you on the rifle range in 5 minutes," Sergeant Major Thompson said, handing her a .50 caliber Barrett. "Show us what you can do at 1,200 meters. What happened next would change SEAL training forever." The morning had started like any other at Fort Bragg Special Operations Training Complex. Laura Foster was conducting routine marksmanship training with a group of Army Rangers when the emergency alarm began screaming across the entire installation. Within minutes, the base had transformed from a training environment into an active combat zone as armed insurgents who had somehow infiltrated the facility began systematically hunting American military personnel. Laura had been assigned to Fort Bragg for 8 months, following her 3rd and final rejection from SEAL training. Her personnel file read like a contradiction: expert marksman ratings on every weapon system the Army used, perfect physical fitness scores, exemplary performance in 3 combat deployments to Afghanistan and Iraq. But none of that mattered to the Naval Special Warfare Selection Board, who had made it abundantly clear that women would never be accepted into SEAL training. The rejection letters had been identical, form responses that felt impersonal despite the magnitude of their impact on her career aspirations. Each contained the same cold assessment: female candidates lacked the physical strength, endurance, and psychological resilience required for special operations warfare. The language was clinical, bureaucratic, and absolute in its dismissal of her qualifications. "Foster, you're an outstanding soldier," Commander Patricia Hayes had told her during her final SEAL application interview. "But this program has physical requirements that exceed female physiological capabilities. We're not being discriminatory. We're being realistic about human biology." The rejection had stung, not because Laura questioned her own abilities, but because she understood that institutional barriers were preventing her from serving at the highest levels of military capability. She'd spent her entire military career proving that competence transcended gender, only to encounter a wall that seemed impermeable regardless of her qualifications. But Laura had also learned that military careers were unpredictable, and that opportunities to